Now, what that missed point after does, without me having to have a chart to look at the point differences, a field goal by Norristown, although highly unlikely, based on their trend to this point, still has that as an open opportunity for them to take the lead with a field goal.
Yep.
But we have a long way to go.
Oh yeah, we have 12 minutes left to play. Eagles have an explosive offense. I'd like to see it start exploding, but they do have a lot of potential back there in the backfield. Methacton will be kicking off from their 40-yard line, of course. Penn Gruber, Johnson, Pettigrew, Coleman. The three amigos. The three amigos back for
there they are.
The Eagles.
And the big play in that drive, my opinion, was that 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty against Johnson. That could really come back to haunt them, Joe.
All right, here's the kickoff. Nice kick. Tumbles ahead to about the 25-yard line.
It's going to end the first period, third period, Joe. Norristown now is looking at a 2-point deficit with the ball entering the fourth quarter.
They'll have relatively good field position. It'll be interesting to see how the Eagles respond. Will they? I think this is the first time they've been behind all year, Tom. It'll be interesting to see how they.
I believe you're right.
How they react.
Right, Joe. This is without a doubt, though, the strongest opponent by far that they've played.
Yeah, Methacton is putting out their 22, not to coin a phrase, 22 warriors, and that's what they are.
Yeah, they hit hard, they play smart.
All right, the Eagles will begin this drive on their own 26-yard line.
And it looks like Coleman and Pettigrew are going to be the backs along with the flanker, Watson.
Yeah.
Boy, these two coaches have been in battles like this before, Joe. Coach Maranka from Methacton, Coach Grove. It's always considered an upset when Norristown or Methacton does beat Norristown. I don't think they've beaten them that consistently over the course of the rivalry. And it would be a big win for actually backyard rivals. Schools are about 2 miles apart.
That's correct. All right, Anthony Carmona calls timeout. Didn't like what he saw. Burned a timeout. That could prove significant deeper into the fourth period.
Yeah, that was their second timeout of the half. They took the timeout on that 4th and 16 earlier, and before they threw the interception. And they have one left now, and they're behind. And you like to have your timeouts for that 2-3 minute period at the end of the game if you need to score.
All right, Coach Grove met Anthony Carmona on the field, gave him a play. We're waiting for the commencement, fourth period.
Joe, you made a good point to see how Norristown responds after falling behind for the first time this season against a good team, the quality team in Methacton, where now they have to drive the ball, 75 yards.
Yes, indeed.
And execution is going to be very critical here, and control of the possession of the football.
All right, let's see what the Eagles do. Down 2 points, 75 yards away from Pater. Carmona over the ball, looking to throw. Throws deep, intercepted. Intercepted by Hanrahan. That's his second interception, the Warriors' fourth pick this evening. Tommy, seems like he simply throws it up for grabs.
Yeah, he does. The ball's fluttering up there. He's throwing to an area. Methacton had two people covering the ball. Either one of those could have intercepted it. And Norristown may be in a little bit of trouble right now. If Methacton can control the ball here, keep it on the ground and pound in for another score, could make it a long night for Norristown. But again, plenty of time left. Only a 2-point deficit for the Eagles. Now that timeout was called. Was that an official's timeout, Joe?
I believe a Hanrahan called it. The Methacton quarterback / free safety. Hanrahan is a ball hawk, a splendid athlete. Nose for the ball, instinctively good football player.
Now, as I said, the last interception Anthony threw when it was 4th and 13 from the 13-yard line or 14-yard line, that was okay. That didn't hurt them because Methacton brought the ball out to the 20.
Exactly.
Here, Norristown now is giving them possession right back after their touchdown drive with excellent field position and a lead.
All right, here's Hanrahan, single back, Marvin Phoenix. There's Phoenix, knocked down.
Big defensive play there.
Number 81 for the Eagles. That would be Carl Fisher. Nice play by Carl Fisher. Second down, 12 yards to go. Hanrahan lost a pair.
Be nice here if Norristown could really push them back, stifle them, and get the ball back. I don't think you're going to see Methacton put the ball up in the air at midfield here, so Norristown's got a key for the run.
Hanrahan rolls left, being pursued, knocked down,
Looks like
falls
a loose
loose.
ball picked up by an Eagle. I don't think it was ruled dead. We'll wait and see. Norristown football.
Ball. I think Danny Lester popped that ball loose on a vicious tackle. I think Danny Lester knocked that loose, Tommy.
Yeah, well, Danny Lester's an extremely aggressive player. And as you mentioned earlier, he was named the Outstanding Defensive Player of the Week in the Times Herald coverage area for his play last week against the Indians from Souderton. Big break for Norristown. They have to take advantage of, Joe. They're 42 yards away from pay dirt.
That's correct. This is their shot. 11 minutes to go. Here's Carmona. I formation. Hand off to number 2. That's Robbie Coleman. Punches out about 5.
You know, the way Anthony is struggling throwing the ball right now, I don't know if Roger's going to have a lot of confidence in going back to the passing game unless absolutely necessary. I think he's going to try to stay on the ground here, Joe.
Yep. Probably Anthony's confidence is shaking itself. Here's Coleman, struggles ahead for about a yard.
Now it's interesting, Sammy Johnson is playing defensively, but not on the offensive end. Is there something that perhaps the injury, my feeling is it's always easier if you know where you're running. Defensively,
yes.
You're backtracking.
Yes. All right, this is a big play for the Eagles, Tommy. 3rd and 4. Again, I think we're in 4-down territory. I think if they don't make it on 3rd, they're going to go for it on 4th. Single back in the backfield.
That's passing formation, Joe.
Skitters down the line. Number 65 for Methacton met him head up.
Maybe a yard, Joe.
That's Derek Feverston, if that, Tom. It's 4th down and 3 yards to go, maybe even 4 yards to go. Feverston, big defensive play for the Warriors.
Yeah, Carmona's not upper body, doesn't have a lot of upper body strength, and running that play into the teeth of those behemoths from Fairview Village. Tough to crack, Joe. Well, you're right, Joe.
4th down and 3.
Maybe a long snap here to try to draw Methacton off sides.
There's a pitch
He's going to look for his hole.
I don't think he made it. I think Methacton held. In fact, they did hold. That's number 43 is Rob Pagnotta.
Now the officials are calling this official timeout. They're going to observe to see where the ball is in reference to the first down marker. They may call for a measurement.
I don't think he got it, Tom, but I may be wrong.
We'll see.
Crucial measurement.
If they don't get it, they've blown a great opportunity. No signal yet. Methacton says it's theirs. Norristown player says it's theirs.
First down.
Joe,
First down.
They got it by the tiniest of margin. And now back to our play-by-play man, Joseph Highland, Esquire.
All right, the Eagles squeezed out a crucial first down. Split backs, Carmona over center. It's a reverse play. There's number 3.
That's Johnson.
Watson spins to the 20-yard line.
Johnson, Joe.
Sam Johnson spins to the 20.
That's the same play they ran earlier, Joe, up at this end for big yardage.
Picked up a first down.
What's that old thing? Fool me once, shame on
Fool
you.
me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Right, and Methacton should have had that play smelled out.
Yep.
Johnson just went in to the slot for that play. The last time he was on the offense, went in for the previous reverse run.
Pettigrew and Coleman in the backfield. Hand off to Coleman. Cuts down to about the 5-yard line. Boy, that fourth down play looms larger and larger.
It sure does. What impressed me about that last run by Ronnie Coleman, Joe, if you observed it, he held that ball with 2 hands. He knows the value of maintaining possession at this point in the game and at this point where they are on the field, knocking on the end zone door.
Second down, less than a yard to go. No, 1st and 5, I'm sorry. 1st and goal at the 5.
No.
Nice tackle. Is that Molesky again?
Yes,
Number 46, Stevie Molesky.
Joe, he's a fine football player. He's active, as I mentioned numerous times. Good quickness, excellent reads, and boy, he could stick.
Yes.
When he hits you, you're not going forward.
Nope. He's been a thorn in the side of the Norristown offense all evening, Stevie Molesky. Second and 7. That last play lost 2 yards. Here's a pitch to Coleman. Around the right side. Cuts back. Nice tackle. Nice open field tackle by number 43, Rob Pagnotta. One-on-one. That's got to be difficult, Tom. That's a nice tackle.
Ball, Joe, I guess at the 3.
Down to the 3-yard line. That's right.
And of course, down at this point on the field, inside the 10 to 5, teams employ what they call their goal line defense. Really difficult to get open cracks. So it takes excellent blocking and execution and play calling to score inside the 5.
There's Coleman around the left side, being pursued and dragged down.
Yeah, Methacton had that well read there.
Number 8, Brian Warwick.
Big decision here, Joe.
Number 43, Rob Pagnotta. You got to go for it. You can't kick a field goal. You can't.
Well, Joe, it's a big decision.
I think you got to go for 6.
It's going to be a 23-yard field goal attempt, which would be 3 yards further than the extra point attempt. And that Norristown just utilized their final timeout of the game, Joe. Big decision for Coach Roger Grove. This is why he gets paid the big bucks.
I would not want to make it. I would not want to make this decision.
As of now, the coaching staff is huddling, concurring down there on the sidelines. There's been no movement yet for Harrell to go into the game. Brad Harrell, 44. Okay. It looks like they're going for it here, Joe.
Yep.
And this is what I said. I knew eventually a lack of confidence in a field goal kicker is going to really be a big, big detriment to any football team. Norristown could take the lead with a field goal, but now they feel that they have to go for the touchdown.
Carmona rolls right, looking for a receiver.
Being chased.
Gonna throw, incomplete, incomplete. He might have been open for a second. Intended for A.J. Pettigrew. Methacton will take over on its own 5-yard line. And you're absolutely right, Norristown's lack of a kicking game might have inflicted a fatal wound right now.
Yeah, and it's a shame. And you know, you don't want to put it on Harrell. You don't want to put the onus on their previous kicker, Giacomo Stabile. And it's just amazing that you can't find a kicker when you dress close to 80 players.
All right, there's a flag on the play. Possible illegal substitution. And the game is not over yet.
Oh, no,
there's
now,
six minutes left.
Yeah, here's the situation. There's 6 minutes, 5:59 exactly on the clock. Methacton deep in their own territory, predominantly a running team. So they're not going to, you don't think they're going to come out pass happy at this position for fear of interceptions. Norristown, on the other hand, knowing that, could really stunt the line and maybe push them back. A safety right now ties the game, Joe.
Good
But
point.
the thing is, Norristown has no timeouts left. So they are going to have to stop Methacton from sustaining any ball control here.
Oh, stuff that play. Marvin Phoenix got nothing.
Right, and the Norristown defense has to step up and compensate for the lack of field goal availability and maybe score on their own.
Dave Watson and A.J. Pettigrew on a crucial stop for the Eagles. All right,
Joe,
down.
they lost 3 on that play.
Yes, they did.
Or 2. Let's call it 2nd and 12. Ball inside the 5-yard line.
Methacton has to be very, very careful with that ball because the Eagles are going to be clawing at it. You know they're going to be clawing at it. Almost a safety. Hanrahan scrambled.
Back to the line of scrimmage.
That's absolutely right.
Big play here, Joe.
Yep.
Norristown could hold here and have forced Methacton to punt from the end zone. Anything could happen. Bad snap, block punt. What Norristown has to absolutely do here, though, Joe, is show discipline. No penalties, no offsides, no late hits.
All right. Methacton calls timeout.
I believe that's their second.
There was some confusion in the Methacton backfield with various substitutions going in and out. So rather than risk not knowing what they're going to do, they call time and they're going to talk about it. Smart timeout. They've got the lead. 4.5 minutes left to play. This has turned out to be the barn burner that
we anticipated.
We both anticipated and hoped for.
A point here too for you fans out there. It's 3rd and 13, 3rd and 12. Ball inside the 5. Methacton needs a big gain. I don't think they're going to look to pass. Too risky down here with their field position. Anything straight handoff isn't going to get it done. So you might think they might have some counter play in the backfield, but when you're doing that, that takes exceptional ball handling, which also is a fumble risk.
That's right.
So here, Coach Grove had to make a tough call a few minutes ago, now Coach Marankov has to have confidence. What I think will happen is the ball will stay in their best player's hands, their surest ball handler, that's Hanrahan, and his job is, at worst, not to get caught for a safety.
Here he is over the ball. Phoenix in the backfield with him. He rolls left. Looked. Scoots away. I think he's short of the first down. Hanrahan on a rollout to the left. Yeah, he is short.
And you fans out there, you heard that. You heard that from me. That play was. There's not much option that Coach Marankov had, and exactly what happened, he's very happy with. He has room to punt the ball now. Norristown gets a little bit caught off guard and jumps offside. They have a first down. I anticipate a long count here, Joe, to try to draw Norristown offside, and now there's a penalty. And if it's against Norristown, it's going to be a first down for Methacton.
Oh my heavens! What happened? What sort of penalty?
Skeet, you'll have to help us with this call.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-8. Illegal substitution.
That is inexcusable. That is just terrible. Defensive illegal substitution. I've never seen that yet. There's got to be the defensive coordinator, special teams has to be very, very upset right now.
An inopportune penalty at an inopportune time. That's. Here's Hanrahan rolling right, scoots upfield, dodges one tackler.
And there's a penalty flag in the pile, and there's another one. There seems to be trash talking there.
They're talking. I don't want to speculate. I don't want to guess.
No, because it could be holding. It could be offsetting. The officials are still concurring.
They're shooing Hanrahan away. Hanrahan wanted to find out what the officials were talking about. He was shooed away.
The flag came initially from behind the play, which could be, and came in quickly, Joe, which could be holding or illegal block. Then a flag came right in the middle of 4 Norristown players, which could be anything, could be unsportsmanlike conduct. We'll see.
Officials still discussing. Referee Nick Ramo discussing it with his colleagues. Messrs. Gillespie, Dewson, McKeever, and Kelly.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against Norristown. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Methacton. The first flag came against Methacton. Norristown player must have said something. If that's the case, that's unfortunate, because instead of marking off 15 yards against Methacton, Norristown gave it right back with perhaps being undisciplined and not being able to control your temper.
Oh my, oh my.
And I've seen that too often with the Norristown team, Joe, this year. That's about the 4th unsportsmanlike against them this year. It's 4 in the last 2 weeks.
There's a very fine line between being aggressive and being unsportsmanlike, and you just can't cross it, especially when you're down 2 with 4 minutes left to play.
And I don't know if it was physical or if something was said, profanity. I don't know. But right now the officials have not moved the spot of the ball. There was a good pickup on the play by Hanrahan.
All right, here's the signal by referee Ramo. It'll be 1st and 10, Methacton's ball. 4:10 left to play. Clock is running at the Methacton 29-yard line. Eagles need a defensive break here.
Joe, those penalties may have happened after the ball was dead. And both teams were wrong.
That would make sense. That would make perfect sense. Here's an inside handoff to Marvin Phoenix. Play is stuffed by the middle of the Norristown defensive line.
The clock is on the side of the Warriors, Joe. One more first down, and I think it'll be impossible for Norristown. They have to stop them here because they just won't have enough time left on the clock because they can't stop it.
The clock right now is Methacton's 12th man, no doubt about it.
And Coach Marankov is going to instruct Hanrahan to take all the time he needs.
There's a handoff to Phoenix. Again, to play, he's still on his feet, eventually knocked down, gained maybe a yard, if that. Norristown may yet get the ball back, but they have no timeouts left.
No, they don't, Joe. It's going to be very tough. There's going to be under 2 minutes left